Hello everybody and welcome back to Rise of Industry. As always, I am Dorn. Today we're going to go ahead and finish setting up some of the textile factories that we need to go ahead and set up. I believe we have some more of that stuff unlocked. The only one that I don't have currently is the winter clothes, which we could go ahead and do, but we're going to have to set up another animal farm, which we haven't even set up the cows to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and do that little line first before I even start with that one. And then we can go ahead and start making the t-shirts and the napkins as well. So we need to go ahead and rearrange our farms, I believe. I want to go ahead and scoot them away from this main road because the computer is just polluting the road here. And in between episodes, we ran into an issue where this pollution thing or the purifier wasn't actually getting water. So the pollution covered the road here again. And when it did that, it actually kept this field from growing. So I didn't know if it was a thing for sure that it was going to do that or not, but it did indeed keep the field from producing anything. So what we're going to go ahead and do is scoot all of the farm stuff back into our land here. So we're going to get away from the road. I think the pollution only goes out like 2 or 3 tiles, maybe 4. I'm going to go ahead and give it like a 5 tile little space because I think these guys are good. The apple orchards and the orange orchards. So we're going to go ahead and start the farms kind of back here. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange everything. We have 9 million currently, or just about 9 million. And the reason that's happening, I believe, is because the computers are starting to buy our stocks. So last episode, they only had 1 stock purchased into our company thing here, which I forgot to mention. And then in the meantime here, they've bought 3 more of our stocks. So we're currently only valued at 25 million. And if we go ahead and take a look at their stuff, we have the second person here as 99 million of value rating. And then the other person is 131 million. So the computers really took off on us. I think it also didn't help that we didn't buy into any other towns when they did. And I think that's why they're worth so much, because they have multiple things being sold in other cities. So that's not really doing us too great. We also have the ability to go ahead and rank up our town again, and we can go ahead and choose a new industry we want to go ahead and get into. I don't really know which one of these is going to be good. I can't see the pricing in the town to kind of make a choice on what we want to go ahead and produce. I think for the time being, we're probably going to go with the liquor store stuff because that's going to probably be easier to go ahead and manufacture, because I think it's just a bunch of farms and stuff we need for that. I don't know if it's going to be like lumber or cold intensive. I don't think it's going to be. So I'm going to go with the lumber or the liquor store here, and we're just going to go ahead and buy into the thing again. That's going to be 5.2 million, I think, something like that. So let's just go ahead and buy into that. And now we have that store in our city here. And all the stuff sells for a decent amount. It's all at least like 30 to 100,000 somewhat in there. So these aren't going to be too bad to go ahead and research into. I don't think the tech tree is that deep on those or that expensive. Never mind. The last drinks are all 5-point-something million a piece. We have wine for 400,000 we can do, or the hard cider for another 400,000, which isn't that bad. And the hard cider sells for 37,000 and the wine sells for 36,000. Okay, so those are not too terrible. But if we want to make the big bucks here, we need to go ahead and invest that 5.6 or 5.8 million into the wine there to go ahead and get that stuff going. But let's go ahead and start moving all of our farms and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and also pause it because we're going to probably end up deleting the warehouse and stuff and rearranging it so that they don't have to go to this road at all, and we can probably end up removing this air purifier. So let's go ahead and pause it there, and let's just start deleting everything. We currently have 4 million. I think that should be good. If we don't have enough money with the 4 million, I'm just going to go ahead and take out that $10 million loan as well, just so we can go ahead and actually build out our farms and stuff and get things working to hopefully start generating more and more money for ourselves here. But let's go ahead and start deleting nonetheless here. Let's go ahead and get rid of the fields. Let's get rid of the farmhouses and all of this stuff here as well. That way we can go ahead and squeeze these things in the way we want them to be. And I think we're going to leave this stuff alone, the copper production stuff. The berry farm can go. We don't need that there anymore. The textile buildings can go. We don't need those anymore. And let's see. Do we want to get rid of this stuff right now? We won't be able to sell any copper until we place this back in. So yeah, why not? Let's just go ahead and get rid of it. I'm also going to back the tracks up just a little bit as well, just to go ahead and get them out of the way. And I think we can go there because if we do any more, we're going to cover the copper building. I don't want to do that. Let me fix that now. So let's go about there, and then we'll leave it and then rearrange that if we need to. And let's go ahead and start clearing out the roads. We don't need these things here anymore. And we don't need this one. Oh, actually, we do need this one because we're still going to have to provide this thing with water. So yeah, we need that one there still. We can't really delete it at the moment. Let's get rid of that one. Let's clean up that thing. And let's see, did I actually unlock the other warehouse extender or did I forget to do that? We did indeed. Okay, so we have a 40 block radius with the warehouse thingy to go ahead and collect from. So we're not too bad off on that. And let's see. In order to go ahead and get as many farms in as we can, we're going to have to wiggle a ton of roading in here. So I'm going to give it a 5 block radius, like I said, and hopefully that's going to be enough distance from the road here. So let's go ahead and just do this just so we know where the border of the thing is. And that's actually the 6th block. Do I want to remove that and place it here so I build right here on the side of that? I think I do. Let me go ahead and do this. Remove that road so that way we can go ahead and try and maximize on the space here. We do have all the copper here as well, which is gonna be a little bit of an issue. Can I delete this stuff? I can't delete it. I don't think I can build over that either. So let me just see. Can I place this here? No, I can't place it because of the thingamabobber there. Okay. So let's go ahead and place down all of the fruit farms and stuff that we had over here. And I'm also going to go ahead and double up on everything if I can. We're going to have 16 million when I take that loan out. So I think we should be fine doubling up on everything and hopefully getting things rolling again. So we're going to need the cotton fields. We're going to need the berries and apples and stuff again. I don't remember what we're selling at all. I need to check the town again because I should have just looked at the stuff before I deleted it. Okay, so let's go ahead and plop our first farm down there. And this is going to be apples. So let's go ahead and place down the fields here. And I can't remember if I have the other thing unlocked to let me do 5 fields. I do indeed. Okay, so we're good there. Let's go ahead and place down 5 of the apple orchards. So we're going to go ahead and place 2 there. And then we can go ahead and place down 3 of them right next to this thing like so. And that's going to be all of the apples being generated on that field. Let's do another one next to it. That's the wrong building. Oops, I meant to do the orchard. Let's do that one here. And then same thing again. It should automatically be on apples, so I'm not going to check the building here. But that is going to be 10 fields of apples being generated. So that's going to be a ton of apples coming through. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing again with the oranges. So let's place that here. And we might be able to squeeze both of them in right here without interacting with the copper too much, which is great. So let's go ahead and place these guys down again like so. And we have 5 fields of apples down. Or oranges, my bad. We have oranges down now. And it looks like we might be cutting it a little close here, placing down the next one in the same line. But let's go ahead and see. I think we should be good. Yeah, the copper is just a little bit out of range, which is fine with me. I kind of wish I can remove the nodes because I'm not going to mine this copper up. I might need it, but I probably won't need to mine it to really do anything with it. But there we go. That's all the orchards down. I don't think we need any more of the orchards at the moment. Can we make anything else? No, we have grapes, so we're going to need more orchards eventually when we start making the other drinks. But for right now, I think that's good. We don't need any more of those. We need the berries down again. I think we had those growing. And I think that was all the other stuff that we had. So we had apples, oranges, and grapes in this little field area here. So let me go ahead and connect these guys to the main road like that. And then let's see, we can go ahead and squeeze in maybe 2 more, maybe 3 more farms before we hit the copper here. So we need the crop farm. Oh, is it the crop farm? I don't think it is the crop farm. I think it is the plantation that we need. So let's place that here. Oh, it's a different building too. I thought it was going to be vertical like the orchard here, but it's sideways, which isn't that great. But we should still be able to go ahead and pretty much set it up like we have the orchard. So it's not that big of a deal. What are we growing here? We have berries. Okay, so let's do 2 berries behind the building. And then, oh, actually we can do 3 berries behind the building. And that way we only need 2 on the side. But then we kind of get in a weird little thing here. So let's actually just do it the same way. So that should be good. And I don't think we can squeeze another one in right here. I think if we do, we're going to hit the copper node and it's not going to really match all that much. Yeah, it's kind of too close here, unfortunately. If we do that, it's going to go over that, and I don't think we can place this over it. It's going to tell us that it's blocked. So let's actually not place this one here. That's kind of okay. We can maybe use this area for something else. We are going to have to place a copper mine if we do use this stuff, so we can just squeeze it in here eventually anyways, so it's not too big of an issue. And let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to do the other berry farm, and then we need to do the cotton fields again as well. So let me actually cram all of the plants and stuff down that we need, because we're going to have to kind of wiggle things around. I'm going to try and just leave this whole area blank, because we're probably going to have to put a purifier and the copper mine eventually. So I'll try and place things around it as we need to. We're down to 3 million so far. So yeah, let me go ahead and do this again so we can go ahead and get the production stuff running again. So I think we have all of the farms down that we're going to need right now. I have 2 of the cotton fields, the berry fields, and the wheat fields. I also have 2 of the cow production things down as well. And hopefully that's going to be enough to go ahead and produce the things that we need. So now all we need left to do is set up the manufacturing point over here as well. So we're not going to be sending the raw stuff back to the town, because there's no point in doing that. So we're just going to go ahead and cram down a few of the textile factories and hopefully have enough supply coming out of the fields to produce enough of the items that we need to be producing the textile stuff. So first things first, we need to go ahead and place down, maybe let's try 4 for maybe the fabric things, if the autosave would finish. Thank you very much. So yeah, we're going to try 4 of these. We don't need this within range of the warehouse, because we're going to probably just have it manually being sent from the company thing here itself, or the farm plot thing itself, because I don't really understand how the warehouses work. I think there is a limit to how many items those things can actually support changing over and stuff like that. So we're just going to kind of ignore them and just go straight into it ourselves. And what we're going to go ahead and do is build out another road right here, but we're going to make this like the main little corner bit. So we're going to start from here. And what does this start off on? It starts off on the fiber, which we need. So we need 2 cotton per fiber. And we have 2 fields down producing cotton. How much is this going to produce? It's not going to tell me. I think it's a double, just like everything else, right? So we should be producing 10 cotton per field here. So we should have 20 cotton, unless it doesn't do double. It does more than double. I'm not quite sure. But we're going to have at least, hopefully, 20 cotton coming out of this thing. So let's place down 4 of these. 5 of these? Let's place down 5 of these and see if that's going to be enough we can actually support. So we'll go ahead and give that a go. We can just go ahead and hold down shift and place down 5 of them. So 1 more should do the trick, like so. And that's going to hopefully be most of our cotton being used in this to produce the cotton, the fabric things. And then we need those going into dye stuff, or actually no, we just need the berries going into this with water. Okay. So again, it's also 2 berries per recipe there, and we have 2 berry patches down. So we should be producing hopefully 20 berries as well. So let's go ahead and place those factories on the opposite side of the street here, and something like this should work. We need to go ahead and actually change this over to dye. And can I just copy this over? Don't think I can. I think I have to manually place them and then swap the recipes, so that's fine. But we need 5 of these things down as well. We'll go ahead and give that a go. Okay, and looking at the rest of the recipes here, we're only going to place down 2 more factories per the recipes here, because a lot of them double up on stuff that we are producing, and we're only going to have 5 dyes and 5 fibers being produced every so often, however long it takes those things to be produced. So we need the fibers and the dyes for this recipe. We need the dye and that thing for this recipe. And then we need the light fabric for the napkins as well. And the cotton fiber thing also is used for the heavy fabric. So the fibers are going to be used on, what is that, 2 recipes? So we need to go ahead and have that going into 2 factories itself. So that's already going to be split between 4 different factories, and hopefully that's going to be enough to support those. And then the same thing with the dye, I believe. It's going into this one, and it's going into, actually that's it. So we'll do 2 for the shirts as well. Pretty much we'll do 2 for the rest of all of these and see if we can actually supply the demand for those. So let's see. We are going to go ahead and do it like this. We're just going to have it going down the street. We'll do 1 more on each side, and then we're going to go ahead and loop the road back this way and have them going this way as well. So that's for 6, and I think we only needed 8 buildings, so let's do that there. And I think that's all of the recipes we needed, so let me go ahead and set the recipes again, and we should be good to go. Actually, we needed 2 more buildings, so let's actually place those down too. Oops, I didn't hold shift. Let me place another one down, and that's going to be the last of the factories we need. We are a little into the red. I feel like even if we take a loan out right now, we're still going to be 1.5 in the hole, which might honestly fail the game for us in a second. I hope it doesn't, but we should have to set these ones on the work close, and we need to set you on the work close. Thank you. So that's all of the crafting recipes in motion. And now all I need to do is connect all this stuff in with the roads, and then we need to go ahead and actually drag what do we need to drag over here? Oh, we don't need to drag anything. Never mind. We need to go ahead and set up the routes here to go ahead and ignore the warehouse for the raw products to go straight here, and then have the finished products go back to the warehouse and get sold in the towns. So we need to go ahead and do all of that. That's going to take me a minute doing it manually here, but it's going to work out better, I think, because the warehouse is just, I don't quite understand it still. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that really quick. We have pretty much everything set in motion. We're going to need maybe an air scrubber or one of the air purifiers over here by these guys, and maybe over here by the cow fields. I'm not sure if they're going to produce pollution or not, but let me go ahead and set all of the little routes in motion here and hopefully start turning a profit. I'm gonna have to take out that loan before we unpause as well, so we don't fail as soon as I unpause the game here, but let me go ahead and set the routes up. Okay, well, moment of truth here. I don't know if this is gonna be good or not, but we need to take this loan out. We need to go ahead and take the orange one out. I think we should be good to do that. Oh, we can even increase the amount of money we take out. So we can actually take a $30 million loan out. Oh, that's actually what it says. Okay, so we can adjust that a little bit if we want. And we can also increase the monthly payback, because right now we need to pay back almost $1 million a month. Can we increase that to drop it way, way down? We can do that. 120 months. It's only going to mean that we pay back $318,000 a month, which I think we can do. And I guess we might want to just go ahead and take that. I don't know if we can do any lower than that. We can't go any lower than that, actually, but we can't really afford making it any more pricey. So I'm going to try this. We're going to take that loan out for $30 million, and we only have $18 million left over. So that's fine. What I also want to go ahead and do before we unpause it is take the money and research the thingy over here, the irrigation tower. Now, what this is going to allow us to do is actually irrigate the farms without actually having to drive to them. So I'm going to go ahead and do both levels of it because we can use the radius on it. And hopefully when we get that thing researched, we can go ahead and just plop one of those like right here, and it should be able to cover all of the buildings that need the water. That way we can go ahead and deliver the water to the warehouse, and then the irrigation tower should automatically just suck the water out of the warehouse so that we don't have any trucks leaving the warehouse to deliver to the irrigation tower, I believe is how that's going to work. So everything else is set up. Everything is set in motion the way it should be set. We don't have these two factories running because right now we don't actually have enough of the delivery slots on our stuff here unless we want to go through the warehouse, which I'm trying to avoid because I don't really want to do that. But I need to also research that ability too. So before we do that, let me unlock that as well. We're just going to do... you know what? It's not that expensive. It's only 600 grand. Let's do both of those as well. And that's going to allow us to just manually drive over to the things instead of needing to go through the warehouse to kind of cut down on the congestion going on in the warehouse. But I think with those things queued up to research, we can go ahead and unpause it. And we should... hopefully not go completely bankrupt in 2 seconds here. So actually, let's go ahead and put it into 3x mode because if we're going to go bankrupt, we might as well go ahead and speed that whole process up here. But there we go. We have one irrigation tower unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and pause it again for 1 split second, and we are going to go ahead and place this thing down. So in a minute here, we're going to have the secondary unlocked to go ahead and increase the reach by 10. So if we go ahead and place it like here, we can go ahead and cover pretty much everything. We don't necessarily need this thing connected to the road, but if we want to go ahead and use this as like a staging point to go ahead and send water around to other buildings, we can go ahead and use it for that as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it here. And then when we unlock the radius expanding thing, we're going to go ahead and increase the range. And then I'll go ahead and use this as the delivery point for water to the purifiers. And we really don't have a lot of those anymore, so it's not too big of an issue. And we'll also use that to go ahead and deliver to the factories, because we need a lot of water going to the factories as well before we start really turning a profit here. So let's go ahead and throw that back into 3 times mode. We got a $100,000 grant, which really isn't going to make too big of a dent in our pocketbook at the moment. And that's all of our R&D stuff done. We are losing 3 million a month apparently, or that might have just ticked over at the second there. But let me go ahead and set this stuff in motion, because I need to go ahead and connect all the factories with water. I need to go ahead and set the purifiers with water. It should automatically connect to all of the orchards and stuff. I don't think I need to do that. Yeah, it does the same thing the warehouse does, so it's just going to automatically do it. And it's not going to have trucks going to the farm fields and stuff. It's just going to automatically give those things the water it needs. So that's pretty good for me. I also need to go ahead and expand our water production, because 2 of these is not going to be enough for all the water we need now. So before we also unpause it again, I'm going to have to go ahead and place maybe 2 more, maybe 3 more of the water siphons down to go ahead and produce the water we need. But let me go ahead and set all of the routes in motion for the water here, because it's going to take a second. I think like a bunch of these things need the water as well. So it's going to take a second for me to set those in motion. So now everything should be up and running. Let's go ahead and unpause it and see if we start making some money here. I think all of the arrows are telling me we don't have water coming in, which I think it should be kind of squared away here in a second. I went ahead and placed down 2 more water siphons. I placed down an irrigation tower as well, just so we can go ahead and collect from them instead of having to wait for the trucks to come over here and deliver to them. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I should be good everywhere else. I think everything should be running as it should be. And we are kind of turning a profit there. And we're losing on the money thing again, so that's not a good sign. And I think the only thing right now that's holding us up is going to be the crops, because we have to wait for those to grow before we can do anything. I think the water should be squared away just about in a minute. I'm not too sure what we should do with the stuff coming out of the cow farms, because we can't sell those in town. The only thing we can sell is the leather, but we need the leather for the productions, and we just have milk and beef left over. So I think what I'm going to have to do is send that to the state. But instead of wasting the space on this warehouse and then cutting into how many trucks come out of this, I'm just going to go ahead and set it from this warehouse to go ahead and automatically sell it to the state, just to kind of use up the stuff instead of clogging up our warehouse here. So all we need to do for that is select that and then just select the state. It's going to automatically sell to it. And the same thing for the milk, so it's not eating up space. And there we go. So both of those are moving out and they should be selling. We're going to get a little bit of cash from it. It's not going to be super profitable. As this is running, I want to quickly check this warehouse really quick and make sure all of the routes are set correctly, because I didn't check this one at all. So we might have some stuff wrong. Air Purifier 2 is being fed water from the warehouse, and it shouldn't be, I don't think. I think this one's delivering it automatically. So yeah, we can disable that. And I think the rest of that is good. You know what we need to do? I didn't do. Oops. I need to set up the routes for the clothing and stuff to be sold, because we're just out of range on the reach of it. So it's not actually going to sell any of that stuff to the place. So we only have napkins and t-shirts and work clothes coming in. So it's only 3 recipes we need to set, or 3 routes we need to set. So it's not that big of an issue. Let's go ahead and set the napkins. Let's set the t-shirts and the work clothes. I also want to check and see where the button sells at, because we are producing buttons. Yeah, we're good on the buttons. It's within range of the warehouse. It's going right to that building, so we should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and let it run again. And for the most part, I think that's everything set in motion. We just have to wait and see if it's going to be a profitable thing we just try to gamble with here. I'm also going to go ahead and set a limit on this one to deliver maybe like 20 to 30 waters to this thing, because it's going to clog up the warehouse as well, because right now we have 99 water in there and I don't really need that much water in the warehouse, in all honesty. So with that limit set, this thing's going to clog up before the warehouse does, and I'd rather have this thing clogging up than the warehouse. So I'm going to leave it like that. Let's go back to the farm stuff and see how this is all working out. Let me click on some of these and see what the issue is. Is it just water? It is water. Does the irrigation tower not pool from the warehouse? Is that what's happening here? We have 98 water, 99 water, 98 water. So do I have the warehouse delivering water to something? Is the question. We do have it going to the air purifier and it's not going to the irrigation tower. So I wonder if I can avoid using the train to transport the water and just place down another irrigation tower or two to have it kind of train over to the, or kind of connect over to this thing without having to use the train. So I'm going to open that window and I'm going to open this window. If I can, there we go. Let's go ahead and minimize both of those so we can see the radiuses of the things. And if we plop a irrigation tower here, we should hopefully be able to branch the distance and maybe kind of cheese it like that. Hopefully we can do that. Let's go ahead and place this one here. And let's spin it. It doesn't really matter which way we go with it, right? Let's place that there. And let's see. Does this connect to the other ones? It doesn't appear so. Let's unpause and see if maybe it does. Because the computers have these things just like bundled next to each other. No, it doesn't look like it's connecting. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't work. We need to go ahead and delete this one just so we don't waste the money. And then we need to actually have our warehouse re-deliver the water to this thing. And then this thing will go ahead and just redistribute it as it's needed around the area here. So let me select our water and then set it into this thing. And we can go ahead and just send the maximum amount of water as that we can because we don't really need it to stay in the warehouse all that much. Let me also set the warehouse on this side to only send a little bit of water. We don't need 100 water in that warehouse. Let me set this to, let's set it to 50. So that way we don't have a lot of water backlogging in it. And I also messed up and I didn't select to send it by train. So we have trucks trying to deliver that stuff across the map here, which is my bad. So that should fix it. I set it to the train. We have these things. You're telling me the gas pumps are affected by pollution? Or are they at max capacity? I think is what's happening here. Yeah, storage is full. Okay, so that'll go ahead and sort itself out eventually. But now we have the farms up and running. Everything is producing crops, which is great, which means these guys should be producing stuff in a minute when the water starts going into them and everything else starts going into them. So we should eventually here start turning a profit, hopefully. How are we looking on this thing? We're still losing according to the game. Let me go ahead and just put it into 4 times here and see if we can go ahead and kind of bounce back or not. You know what? We actually have to place down an air purifier here because we are running into a pollution issue and I didn't space out the road 5 tiles like I did this place over here. So eventually this is going to start interfering with our crops if we don't go ahead and place this thing down. So we can't actually place that there. That's a bit unfortunate. Uh-oh. We can place it here, but I don't think it's going to reach all of this stuff, which is not good. I might have messed this up already by not thinking that through all that well. Let's place it here, I guess. Oh, it's in super fast mode. Oops. But yeah, there we go. We already have crops getting interrupted by it. So let's place it there and we can have the irrigation tower deliver water to it. So we need air purifier getting water. Go there. We're going to set you to a limit of 5 so we don't have a ton of water backlogging in it. And hopefully that'll go ahead and help and kind of clear up a little bit of this. We might need one right here as well just to kind of keep these crops good. Trying to see when this one gets water if it's going to clear up a ton of stuff. It's going to clear. Oh, it's clearing most of it. Go a little bit further. And it cleared the entire area. Okay, I'm fine with that. We can just have that one hanging out there. That's no biggie. And we're actually making money again. It finally swapped back over to gaining, so that's good. Now that we have this stuff over here producing the end products that we're selling, so we are making some profit. So eventually we will be able to go ahead and pay off this loan as long as nothing crazy happens, I don't think. But we need to go ahead and take a look at this thing. I don't know when I unlocked it, but we have the part shop, which I guess I unlocked last episode or in between episodes. I don't think I ranked up the town in between episodes though, but the recipes in this thing are really pricey. So we can make $500,000 per exterior body part. We can make another $500,000 off of the axles. We can make another almost pretty much $500,000 on the engines as well. But the thing is, I don't think we can actually make any of this stuff because we need, I think, coal to be able to produce that stuff. So we need the exterior body, which is a headlight and a little metal I-beam looking thing, which is this guy. So we need steel. Yeah, we can't make steel in the region that we're at right now. So we would need to buy all of that stuff from from the state to be able to craft all of that. And I don't know if it's going to be worth it because it might be more expensive buying the stuff from the state and then turning it into a product than just having the resources on the map for us to go ahead and produce that stuff. But I'm not too sure here. We have a bonus for research speed, but we have all of that stuff done already. We're only missing one, right? Yeah, we're only missing one, and that's 5.6 million. I'm not going to do that. We don't have the money to be doing that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that that little bonus science thing to kind of run out now because we can't really afford to do it at the moment. And we're still gaining, so that's great. We do have these guys complaining about something. What are you complaining about? You're complaining about water. Okay. Do we have water in the warehouse? We have 6 water in the warehouse. How are we looking over here in this warehouse? Do we have a ton of water? We have 1 water in there right now. And how are these guys looking? They don't have anything in them. The siphon has 1 water in it. We might need 1 more water siphon to produce enough water to kind of meet the demands here. Now that we have this guy producing or using water as well, it might be a good idea to place 1 down. We're also prospering now instead of just gaining, so that's cool. I don't think I've seen that one just yet. I've seen, was it bleeding or whatever it was last time? Let me go ahead and place down 1 more water siphon and see if we can go ahead and meet the water demands of those little buildings. Let's go ahead and place you over here. And we just need it within range of the siphon there. We don't need, or the irrigation tower. We don't actually need this connected to any roads. We do need the little things connected to it though. So if we place this here, we can go ahead and squeeze in 5 of these things. Oh, you know what? No, that's going to be a little janky. Oops, whatever. It's already placed. I don't want to waste the money on deleting it. Let's go ahead and place this here. Let's see, 3, 4. And if we place that there, we're not going to be able to connect to the road on this thing. I think we do need to connect to the road on it, though. So really quickly, let me go ahead and do this. And that's 1.3 million. Holy smokes. That was expensive. Let's place that there. And then we can go ahead and connect into it with this guy like so. And then this guy doesn't need to be going to the warehouse. It just needs to just hang out. It'll get collected by this. And we should have that getting collected. Siphon 5, siphon 5. Cool. Okay. So that's going to be another, I think, 10 water when everything gets up and running at capacity here. And we also have the ability to go ahead and increase production by increasing the pay for the building here. So we can also do that instead of placing more of these down, which we're pretty much at limit right now, unless we want to place more of the irrigation towers and then connect them to the warehouse somehow, which I don't really want to do. So we're probably going to go ahead and start increasing the pay on the buildings here to go ahead and get more out of it in one go. We don't have the water cleaning up the land here, so we're running into the little pollution thing again on accident. But with the water over there, we should have it kind of rolling in a minute here. So even with this extra water siphon, we're not producing enough water to meet the demand. So I'm going to go ahead and actually set the production up to 125 on all of them. It's going to cost us a little bit more money. So in other words, what is that, like $3,000 and change to run these buildings, but I hope by doing this, it's gonna allow us to actually meet the demand for the water that we need right now. So these two are already set to 125. I just didn't do the new ones here, but now that we have all of those going, let's see, they should be producing 10 water a piece. Yeah, it looks like it. So hopefully that helps out. Once we get enough money to actually start researching again and not risking bankruptcy, I'm going to go ahead and increase the research on those guys again so I can go ahead and increase the speed on them as well so we get more water out of them. But if we go ahead and click on over to our production menu here, we can go ahead and actually look at the raw resources that we're producing. So we are now producing 53 water and only consuming 49 of it. So now we should be able to go ahead and build a little bit of a backlog and be able to kind of place down another purifier if we need to without running into like a water issue again, which is great. And I think everything else here is good. We don't need to change anything else. Let's see if we're still gaining money. We're losing money again, which is not great. But once we get the water back over here, we should have all this stuff back up and running because right now that's mainly the holdup. We don't have the dye being produced, so we don't have some of the end products being produced, and we're not making any money from this little area right now. But we just need to go ahead and leave the game running for a little bit and see if now that we have the water in excess here, that it's going to allow us to keep everything running and get back into the profits here, hopefully. I actually want to check before. I want to check our our loan thing over here. How are we looking over here? We are 22 million left on it, so we're already, what is that, like 8 million down? So it's not too bad here. Okay, so we have enough money to go ahead and pay off this loan, so let's go ahead and clear that so we don't have that interest eating into our profits anymore. I went ahead and placed down 2 more of the light fabric factories just so we have more of this stuff getting produced, because we need 3 for the napkins and then we needed some for the summer clothing. So every now and again we would get out of sync to where these ones weren't running and we needed more of the fabric being produced. And we have a ton of the fibers and the dye backlogging right now. Since I only have it sending a limited amount to each building, we can kind of expand this a little bit more to even produce maybe 4 factories of each of these things. Right now we might be able to go ahead and support that. I'm not quite sure, but I want to go ahead and just leave it running to go ahead and generate income for us, because we just paid off that loan, so now we don't have that 300,000 eating into our thing. So we should be able to go ahead and start turning a decent profit here. If I can see, we are producing 3.2 million a month, I think this is. And the only reason this is at 14 million right now is because we just paid off that loan. So we have to wait until the following month for that to tick over, and then we should see just how much money we're actually making. We also ranked up our town again. And we need, let's see, we need 6 and 1. So we need like 7.6 million to go ahead and rank up the town again. And we get another building, which is the showroom. And it's only one option to choose from. So I'm going to guess this is probably going to be like the most profitable thing we're going to get in this town. Although it's also car stuff. So we can't make it unless we start importing the stuff. So I'm going to let it run for a second and see if we can go ahead and generate that money so we can go ahead and rank up the town. I think this is the last time. I don't know if it ranks up again, because there's only one option to choose from, so I'm guessing it's not going to rank up again. But anyways, I'm going to let it run again. We have all that squared away. I'm not going to change anything else for the time being. I'm just going to let it start producing profits and hopefully buy the buildings that we need to buy for the town here. All right, we have enough money to go ahead and buy the last little buildings here, I think, unless there's another upgrade to the town after this, in which case we'll just save up for that as well. But let's go ahead and buy these 2 things. And now we have the showroom available, which is going to allow us, wow, look at the money you make on that. You make 35 million on a pre-made dinner, you make 36 million on a car prototype, and you can make another 35 million on the first computer. Wow, that is a lot of money on those things. Okay, so let's see. First computer, we are going to need, I don't see the thing in that. Pre-made dinner, I think it's this. Oh, wait, hold on. So I don't see the actual little icon for it. It's actually this little icon, but I guess we need to deliver all 3 of these, and it counts as the pre-made dinner, I guess is what that is. And so far, the pre-made dinner is probably the only one that's really doable here, unless the knives and stuff. No, that needs plastic. And then we can produce the napkins already. I don't know what the little brown diamond looking thing is. Let's see, the berries, I think we can produce those as well. Unless that's salt, in which case I don't think we can. And then these ones over here, I think we can produce, except for the chicken, again, because I don't know if that's salt. Let me see what those things are. It is flour, it's not salt. So we can actually make that. That's doable. Let me see what the little brown square looking thing was. It is going to be the cardboard. Okay, so is that doable? We just need wood and water to make pulp, and then we use that to make cardboard, and then the cardboard turns into the thin cardboard. So it's actually doable for the food thing, at least. This one's doable. We just need a few more farms for the random little things here and there. We need a chicken farm, we need an olive and vegetable farm, and we might want to go ahead and maybe double or triple up on the water bottle production to go ahead and meet the demand for all of this. That's pretty doable at the moment. The vehicle thing needs steel, and that's the main holdup for that. So we can't really dive into the vehicle, or the computer one at least. And then the vehicle one as well. It needs steel for certain parts as well. So we can't do the vehicle or the computer, but we can try and set a lineup to start making the pre-made dinners. So that's kind of doable. And it sells for 35 million. So if we can actually set up a factory to produce those, then we might honestly be able to dig ourselves out of the hole that we're in, because the little factory that we just set up really didn't increase our profits all that much, or our stock profit thing here. I think we were at 48 million and we're only at 49 million. I think we only went up 1 million on the stock pricing, and the computers are still just going. We have 116 million and the other guy is at 150 million. I think this one was at 130 million at the start of today. I feel like it was 130, but yeah, we need to go ahead and set that line in motion. That's really, really doable, I think, because it's really not too crazy. We do need, what is that, 15, like 16 something million, maybe 20-ish million, because we have a lot of stuff we need to unlock still. So I'm going to try and unlock all of the things that I can. The first ones here are all 1.8 million, and we don't even have that yet. But if we take a look at our budget, we are producing 4.9 million a year, and our expenses are at 10 million. Why is the thing at 10 million? Oh, you know what? It just went up because I just bought that thing. So I think our profits, I think we're making 2 million a year or a month, whatever the time scale thing is for this thing. I think we're making 2 million profit margin on this. But I think for right now, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. I'm going to try and research as much of this as I can in between episodes. I'm also going to go ahead and research into the Zeppelins here, and I think that's about it. I want to do the Zeppelins to see if that's going to be faster travel times compared to the train. I don't think it's really going to matter too much here, but I want to try and sell to the state without having to use the cars. So I want to place a Zeppelin thing on this warehouse and then place another warehouse over here somewhere that is pretty much just going to be for the state sales of the beef and the milk that we're not using, that we can't really use. So that's what I'm going to try and do with that. But for right now, that's going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.